Hello and welcome to Inside Edition, where we discuss national, regional and international issues in depth. The Kingdom of Bahrain has witnessed constant growth and substantial development in the electricity, water and energy sectors. These developments have been transformational and continue offering all citizens and residents high quality, efficient and sustainable services. Since its establishment, the Electricity and Water Authority has been exerting great efforts to provide the Bahraini community with best services through launching groundbreaking initiatives that aim at diversifying energy sources and improving their efficiency. To know more about those efforts and achievements, we are pleased to be joined here in the studio by the Director of Information Systems Department at the Electricity and Water Authority, Engineer Hani Salman Al-Najjar. Welcome back. Joining me here in the studio is the Director of the Information Systems Department at the Electricity and Water Authority, Engineer Hani Salman Al-Najjar. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to take part in the Inside Edition program.
Thank you. I mean, a lot of questions come in about EWA, its visions and everything like that, and all of the new products and services that are being offered. So to start off this conversation, can you give us an idea about the EWA's vision, mission, and main aspects in their strategy map?
Sure. If we look into the mission that EWA do have right now, we are focusing on being reliable and providing a high quality services to that sustain the development of Bahrain. This is our main mission. If we look into the vision that EWA currently have is to advance with whatever services that we are providing to the customers in order to ensure that we are advancing our country and making it one of the best countries in the world. The main pillar that associated with the strategy map of the Electricity and Water Authority is being responsive and consistent in our services, ensure sustainable and sufficient capacity for the services that we are providing, being financially effective, and also having a high talented workforce that support the operation of electricity and water. Nowadays, the authority is working on developing a new strategy that focus on being more customer focused and also to be more consistent or being responsive with our customers to meet the nation and the customer needs.
Right. When we look at the services provided by the EWA, during the pandemic, it really flourished because during the pandemic, everything went online. But the EWA actually had their services long before the pandemic was there. And that was part of the customer services ease that they were providing. What can you tell us about the Electricity and Water Authority's online services?
As you know, it's like part of the government initiatives in order to move to digital transformation and to advance the government roles and services that has been offered. EWA was part of this initiatives, and for sure, as you indicated, the pandemic was helping a lot in order to move to such a changes and to educate the customer to move to the online services rather than to use the ordinary services. During the pandemic period, we launched several services that specialized or focus on the main customer needs, which reflect majority of our services, such as moving to a new premise, termination of the existing contract, or requesting for reconnection. All those are the daily requests that we receive from customer. So currently all those services are already available online, and customer he could log into the national portal or to EWA portal in order to access those services. And furthermore, we are working currently in the final stages of a new transformation project that will pave the road for having more of or automating majority of electricity and water authority services and make it available in an easy to use and a friendly manner to the customer in order to be more responsive and providing an efficient services to our customers.
That's fabulous. One of these services actually that are being provided now and was announced is the fixed billing systems. Can you give us a brief idea about the fixed billing system as well? What are the benefits of customers actually enrolling in it?
Okay, actually it's part of the transformation program that EWA started, that we are bringing and offering to the customer by having the fixed billing system. The fixed billing system is focusing on providing an average consumption to the payment to the customer that or to the individual who would like to enroll in this program, that to ensure that they are paying a fixed amount across the whole months, across the whole year. This fixed amount has been calculated based on their previous 1 year consumption, which will allow us in order to balance between the summer consumption, which normally increase the electricity and water consumption comparing to the winter months, because of the increase, the normal increase of the temperature within the kingdom. So having the average will help the customer to have more effective financial management, and also it will allow them to balance between their expenses between summer and winter, and also to avoid any overdue notification that they could get because of an let's say overconsumption or increase in the consumption during the summertime.
Fabulous. A system like that, there was a lot of work put into it in order to come up with a system that will cater to everybody, to the IWA itself as an establishment, as well as to the customer, and having them satisfied. Part of doing projects like this is due to the information, or basically the information systems department that you had as well. So what can you tell us about the efforts that are behind this system and about this fixed billing system?
Actually, this system had came in order to cater for the customer demand, and also to bring a solution for customers in order to balance their outstanding or to manage their electricity and water consumption. If we look into the customer consumption in general, the customer consumption is increasing in summer almost 4 times comparing to the winter time. And this is also putting a lot of burden on the customers in order to meet their, let's say, financial obligations, especially during, it's like during the past years, the summer was associated with a certain events such as Eid and school return back, and all of those events that increase the financial obligation on the customer. Right. So having a balance, or let's say a fixed billing system or a fixed payment system for the customer will allow them to have more effective cash flow management across the whole year, as the amount will be fixed for the whole year based on their previous consumption. Yeah. This is and this system or this feature is available for the whole customers. Like there is no segmentation for whatever customer that we are targeting. We are targeting the whole customer from Bahrain First Account, expat, commercial organization. It's required that we do have the history of the customer during the previous year, and we will be able to drive the average consumption or drive the average value of that fixed billing system that we will have.
Well, the next question that comes to mind now is, how about the people that had outstanding debt? Can they enroll in this program? And how will their debt be treated?
For sure. The customer who is having an outstanding debt, they could enroll in this program. They will have a slight different calculation because of the outstanding debt. And the authority, we do have an installment plan that is differ according to the customer category. And based on that, we will be able to sum the average consumption plus the formula that is driving the installment plan for each of the customer categories. So both together will associate it in order to reflect what will be the value of the fixed amount that the customer need to pay across the year.
That is on the people with outstanding debt. Now you also have another category of people that are going more into the sustainable energy kind of arena that Bahrain is providing, as well as the IWA has put a lot of awareness into. How about the clients that have solar panels or sustainable energy sources? How are they treated in this fixed billing system?
It's a good question, Sarah, that you raise related to the people who's having a sustainable, or they are having let's say a solar panel in order to generate energy or to generate generate electricity. As I indicated earlier, the system is looking into the average consumption of the customer, regardless whether he's having a solar panel or not. So if he's having a solar panel, his consumption will be reduced because of the balance between the solar panel generated electricity and the one taken from the authority. So accordingly, his consumption will be reflected accordingly. When we do the calculation for the fixed billing system, we put in consideration this aspect in order to look into the consumption. So definitely the customer who's having a solar panel will have less consumption during, let's say, summertime. So their average across the whole year will be reduced accordingly.
Perfect.
And they could enroll also in this program as they are one of the different categories that we have. And when we look into the enrollment program, we made it very simple. So all those categories could enroll either by visiting the national portal or by visiting EWA website or by calling our call center on 17515555, which operate by 24/7.
Perfect. So just to have this in layman terms, basically what EWA looks at when it comes to the fixed billing system is the end number of consumption or the hours or energy used, basically, whatever the source is, whether it is from the electrical mesh that is available or from the sustainable energy sources they might have.
Exactly. It's like we are looking into the consumption of the customer across the whole year.
So
how much he's consuming in terms of energy, and then we reflect it in terms of money, and accordingly we will be able to drive the formula that helps the customer to have a fixed value that he's allowed to pay across the whole year.
Absolutely. Now, when we come to the sensitivity of information that EWA acquires when their customers are part of basically their system, security is very important. What are the applied measures that are applied by EWA or Electricity and Water Authority to ensure the sustainability and quality in information security management?
It's like similar to any organization that deals with the customer's data. EWA adopted best practices and international framework in order to ensure that a right measure and control that has been put around the areas of the customer data, privacy, and security. EWA had obtained the ISO 27001 certification, which emphasizes on areas related to information security, access control, physical and environmental security, HR security, procurement, and cryptography. This certificate had been obtaining this certification had reflect the EWA's initiatives or EWA's achievement in order to ensure that the operational aspect around customer data security and privacy are in a place in order to ensure that customer data are protected in a well manner in order to ensure that there is no security risk, or even if there is a risk that is associated with that area, it will be identified and managed and controlled accordingly.
Perfect. One of the things that EWA, such as other authorities in Bahrain, does is it cooperates with other agencies and entities. What can you tell us about the cooperations between EWA and other entities in order to serve the customers?
As I indicated, it's like in EWA, it's like we are having a close cooperation, especially when it's come to our colleague in Information and E-Government Authority. A lot of services that we are offering currently is via Bahrain.bh or the national portal, and also via EWA portal. This close cooperation that we have with IGA helps us in order to develop our e-services, helps us in order to be more responsive to the customer, and also to have the flexibility whenever we are having any new services. We have a lot of cooperation from our colleague in the IGA in order to cooperate with us. So this is one of the areas that, or this is one of the organizations that we are working closely with in order to ensure that we are delivering values to our customers.
Fabulous. Modern means of social media actually facilitate communicating directly with the target audience that you aim to talk to or spread awareness or have information go to, and spreading information among them. How does the EWA make use of social media?
Okay, it's like As you know, nowadays, it's like with the advancement of technology, social media has become part of all the corporations that they are operating across the world. So the corporation, they are using the social media platform either to communicate with their customer or to send information and notification about their services. Similarly, in EWA, we started adopting the same concept by having our account on majority of the main social media platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We are utilizing those platforms in order to communicate our information. We communicate our rules and regulation. We post educational videos that reflect our services or educate the customer in order to go and reach out for our services. And additional to that, we are communicating our news and activities that we are conducting within the authority in order to represent the whole activities that is taking place in EWA and being informative to our customers. And through this program, I would encourage our customers to start following our social media account in order to be responsive to whatever information that we post and educational videos that helps in order to communicate the services and bring more information to customer about whatever services that are available within the authority.
Yes, amazing. One of the things before we end today's show is that customers are able to communicate with the EWA even if they have any kind of suggestions or they have any kind of problems that they want to face. And we talked about this a little bit before. There are different platforms such as Tawasul and social media where people can contact the EWA, and you have a system for checking them. That's why there's always a quick answer from the EWA. Can you tell us about that structure?
Okay, it's like we are, and it's like EWAS and Tawasul or the National Call Center. It's like we are working closely in order to being responsive to the customer, and also in order to be to respond to customer complaint or whatever feedback that we receive from customer. We have our PR team who's managing the social media account, and they are responding to customer notification or request or whatever complaint that we receive via the direct messaging that's associated with those platform, or via the comment that that the customer he raised whenever we are indicating about information or new services. So we are utilizing the social media in order to be more closer to our customer, in order to be more responsive to their needs and to meet their expectation accordingly.
Perfect. Thank you very much for answering our questions today. That's very reassuring to hear all of the information about the online services, the fixed billing systems, as well as the technique that is behind it in serving your customers. Hopefully this is the first show with the EWA on the different topics that are coming. Thank you for answering them.
Thank you. Thank you a lot for having me here.
And we'd like to thank you, dear viewers, for watching us, and we'll see you next week in another episode of Inside Edition.